What's up guys, welcome back to Lucas Gaming. Today I'm back after like 11 months of not uploading a video, don't ask questions, with another ABC deck profile. I've been, in-person locals are back and I've been on the grind. I've been playing tournaments. I'm coming off the back of several tournament wins. And I think I've broken ABCs again. I have the best deck, it's the best deck ever printed, and I'm continuing to just assert incredible amounts of dominance using these cards. But I won't stall that much longer. I'll just get right into what everyone wants to see in the deck profile. So, starting off with the monsters, we have 3 copies of all our favorites: 3A, 3B, and 3C. And this time, with new additions, 2 copies of Union Driver. I'm maxing out on pieces for consistency's sake, and I like 3P. I like 3 of each piece because it combos with unauthorized reactivation really well. It's just useful to have. To also, because having a Union monster in hand lets you resolve C Chain Link 1, B Chain Link 2, etc., etc. And then I play 2 Union Driver to make sure I always have a copy of Driver in my deck, and also so that I can combo off again on my second turn to just keep the pressure on for my opponent. On my turn 2 of the game. Then next up we have our monster hand traps. So we have 3 copies of Psyframe Gear Gamma and the Psyframe Driver. I really like Gamma because it's monster negate and destroy. It's really good for going second against combo decks. You can stop the Link monster and get it off the board. So that's really great at really making them burn resources. Also on your turn, if your opponent tries to Ash a Hanger Search or Droll you after a Hanger Search, etc., 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 they try to hand trap you while you still haven't committed the monster to the field. Gamma just shuts that down and lets you get on with your turn. Then I have 2 copies of Ash Blossom and 2 copies of Effect Veiler. Ash is not the best right now, but it's still solid enough that I think it warrants playing. And Effect Veiler is just more effect negation, and you really cannot get enough effect negation right now versus the current meta. This card is so good, and also it combos off with Kristran Helka Fibrax and Selene to give you a way to access code Talker, no pun intended. But that rounds off our monster lineup. Now we'll head into our spells, starting off with 3 copies of the best field spell in the game, Union Hanger, and our 1 copy of Terraforming. Y'all know what this card does. You got to play it at 3. Anyone Terraforming. This card's a 1-card combo. This card's basically an FTK versus every deck in the game. Seeing this card means you have an infinitely higher chance of winning. And then next up we have once again some newcomers to the deck since the last time I played this game in person. Unauthorized Reactivation. This is everything I could have asked for in a spell card that helps consistency. It doesn't say search Hanger, but it's the next best thing. It's Hanger's second effect. It just equips something from the deck or your hand, and that's it. And also, it's a quick play, which has so many interactions, because that means you can use it as disruption. If your opponent tries to Widow Anchor your Buster, chain reactivation it. Equip B, Buster's now immune, nothing happens. They try to Nibiru you during the end phase. Chain reactivation, target Buster, equip A. Buster won't get tributed. It's so good at being disruption or counterplay, as well as also just being good at getting your turns rolling, and basically acting as a substitute for Hanger. This card is so good. As well as Union Driver, that card makes, oh my god, those two cards together make this deck like next level insanely good. I love it so much. Alright, time for another huge power card that this deck got recently. Pot of Prosperity. This card basically says add Union Hanger from your deck to your hand. You either just pick 3 or 6 of the least useful cards in your extra deck for whatever matchup you're up against, or whatever the current game state is. Get rid of them, look at the top 3 or 6 cards of your main deck, and then just add a card to your hand. And when you're digging 6 cards deep into your main deck, you're probably going to see Union Hanger, or if not that, Unauthorized Reactivation. It's so good. It's such an incredible consistency boost, and combined with unauthorized, ABC is more consistent than it ever has been before, and I absolutely love it. Then we got the nice spice with 2 copies of Chain Summoning. If you don't know what Chain Summoning does, it says You can activate this card as Chain Link 3 or higher, and then conduct up to 3 normal summons this turn. This card's incredible. Going first, you can just keep normal summoning cards and summon Apollousa turn 1. Going second, you can just keep normal summoning cards and make an access code turn 2. It's so good. It's a crazy spice card. It's like, if you see it, your turn's gonna be so much more explosive. I'm having so much fun with it. Next up, we are onto our trap cards. 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence, another hand trap, more effect negation. Like I said with Effect Veiler, you really cannot get enough effect negation in this format. Then you have some true purple cards with 3 Solemn Strike and 3 Torrential Tribute. These cards are insane. Strike, Torrential, like these 2 cards by themselves can win you games. When you establish a Buster in like an IP Masquerena protected Apollousa, Torrential's a blowout card. Or if you have like a Buster with like a set Torrential and a set reactivation, you activate Torrential, chain reactivation, target your Buster, equip a C. Buster's now immune to all trap effects, and it doesn't get destroyed. It's so sick. It's like these are like the best cards in the game right now. I don't know how it works, but like Strike and Torrential absolutely destroy the meta right now. Like, you win so many games just because like Buster can banish their like important piece of their combo, and then they're left trying to put the pieces back together with whatever else they have in their hand, and then you just hit them with Torrential, and it's just game over from there. They can't do it. They can't do anything about it. But that's it for the main deck. Let's hop into the extra deck and talk about how much better this deck is. Alright, onto the extra deck. We, of course, have our 3 copies of ABC Dragon Buster. So nice to have this card back at 3. It got limited right as Master Rule 5 started, and that was incredibly painful. And it's back at 3 now after, several months of being at 1. It's been back at 3 for like 8 months now, but still. This card's so good, man. It just does everything, and I could not ask for a better boss monster in this game. Next up, you have 2 Xyz monsters that goes to Emerald to help you recycle your busters and make your grind game that much more unbeatable. And then 1 copy of Abyss Dweller, just in case you run into some of those graveyard decks. You can really just destroy those graveyard decks, and it's basically an auto win button versus any deck that relies on its graveyard. Then for 1 Link 5. The Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. This card's insane. Lets you link someone using your opponent's stuff. This card outs Dragoon. This card outs literally anything that's like not targetable, not outable. Who cares? It's a 3K body. It can negate summons from graveyard. You can make it with Masquerena. It's so good. This card has saved my ass so many times. 1 copy for our Link 4. We have a copy of Apollousa. Card's great. Says negate like 4 times in 1 turn. You make it for free with, once again, Masquerena. Not much to say about that. Then you have Access Code Talker. This card is an absolute machine going second. It rips apart boards. And if you have that chain summoning that I mentioned in the main deck part of this video, chain summoning into Access Code Talker, oh man, you absolutely obliterate people's boards. This thing just puts in so much work. And then we have our Selene and our Crystron Helka Fibrax. These 2, once again, combo with Effect Veiler to give us some additional ways to access Code Talker. Once again, it's super important because Access Code Talker is your closer. That's the card that seals the deal and locks away games in your favor. It's this whole idea. Your opponent gives you an inch, you make Access Code plus Buster, and you take a mile. It's insane. Then we have a Nightmare package of Unicorn, Phoenix, and Cerberus. So just generic utility to just help out stuff, or just get the Link ball flowing to get them attributes in graveyard to help feed into your Access Code Talker. I always love having these in the extra deck. Just good to have some generic toolbox stuff to just get stuff done when it needs to get done. Then we have IP Masquerena. This card's incredible. It links into your Apollo, into your Access Code, into your Underworld Goddess, whatever you need this card to do, it does it, and it does it flawlessly. Also whatever you summon using this card will no longer die to Torrential Tribute. It's incredible. And for our last card, we have Platinum Gadget, which is once again just another just staple card of the extra deck. It gets stuff done. It helps you just do your thing and play the game and grind. This extra deck's so good. I love it. But yeah, that's it for the extra deck, and let's head on to the last part of this incredible deck, which is the side deck. Alright, starting off our side deck, we have 3 copies of Nibiru. This card is an auto win button versus combo decks, and combo decks are pretty good, so I'm gonna keep playing it. Then 3 copies of Ghost Belle, very good versus graveyard decks, and also useful versus stuff like Tri-Brigade and Drytron and whatnot. You know, just the useful card a lot. I find myself siding in versus a lot of just stuff in general. It just has a lot of generic good applications. Then we have 3 copies of Dark Ruler No More. I honestly kind of like this card over Forbidden Droplets, because in ABC you kind of need like a bunch of the cards in your hand to play, so you can't afford to just pitch like 2 or 3 cards off of Droplets. So I actually prefer Dark Rulers, just the one and done. Doesn't make you commit extra cards out of your hand. And then for the last 6 cards, you have 3 Twin Twisters and 3 Lightning Storm. This is just mostly anti-back row hate, but Lightning Storm is also just anti-combo deck hate. They're just incredibly good cards versus, you know what I'm saying, it's just like generic utility. You know, Twins is just great versus any back row deck. Lightning Storm's great versus back row decks, combo decks. It's like it's just what you need it to be, and I love that about the card. You know, it's just whatever you need the card to do, it can do for you. That's absolutely incredible to me. Yeah, that's it for the side deck, and also gonna do it for this entire deck profile. If you guys like this deck profile, be sure to hit the like button down below. I guess it's down below this way. You know, be sure to subscribe. If you want to see more of my content. I promise it will not be 11 months before I upload again. But other than that, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Later.